Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to another replay review. This one I'm very much looking forward to, and this is going to be for a direwolf. That's a name, not just a random generic, it's just some direwolf. No, it is a specific direwolf who goes by a direwolf. And he's been playing Invoker, and I'm very excited because I love Invoker, and I love talking about Invoker, and coaching people on Invoker. And, let's see how it goes. I don't have his MMR off the top of my head. Let's ballpark it. Okay, so 2170 ballpark. We don't know if this is solo or party. Invoker, typically we consider him a pretty difficult hero in the sense that whenever I talk about Invoker, I should say, he is a hero that I would describe as easier than he seems, but at the same time he has much more. He has a ton of room for improvement, but his skill... Okay, let's see. I'm trying to like be succinct, but it's really just not working. Invoker's a hero with a mediocre skill floor, but people think he has a really high skill floor, and then his skill ceiling is obviously humongous, right? So I think I would say, just to kind of wrap that nonsense all up, is that a lot of people overestimate how difficult Invoker is, but at the same time, like, if you're learning Invoker, it's not rocket science, right? Like, you can learn the simple combos and all that. It only gets difficult when you're playing him at a high level, and if you're really trying to become, like, an Invoker player, quote-unquote. And then you really have to get into all the little minutia and all the, using the abilities that you've been forgetting about and stuff like that. I always used to joke that the mark of anybody that really is good Invoker player is the fact that they actually use Ice Wall, because that's something that people just forget. People just don't use Ice Wall. They're like, what do you mean Ice Wall? What an ability. Anyway, let's talk a little more in depth about Invoker. So his strength, of course, is in that he is a monstrous late gamer. He can do a lot for a team. He offers D push. He offers team fight in a way. He offers lots of CC. He offers good damage. It's just a matter of, can you execute or not? And obviously we're going to find out whether we can execute or not. Also, another important thing is your cosmetics. Cosmetics are alright. I don't want to show off too much, but these are alright. I'm pretty proud of my Invoker set, my beautiful, wonderful Invoker set. Let's see, just real quick. Just gotta show off my boy Carl. I'm so proud of this set. All my gems. Oh God, what a beautiful, wonderful thing. Okay, let's stop. Let's stop that. But this is the first time I've actually been able to review an Invoker game. I'm so excited. And I know it's a long game, right? So we're in for a ride here, my friends. Alright, so this starting items are fine. I know there are some people that do like the Aki start thing, where you start with like a Wraith Band and a Branch and a Fairy Fire. Generally, I would not go double Branch. I'd go Branch Fairy Fire. And obviously, normally you have two shared tangos, but this is a pub, so, whatever. Okay, well, that guy got killed. It's normally not the Marana that gets first blooded, but this is enough for him. So this matchup is alright, actually. I don't really mind it, because Invoker's key weakness, rather, in the early game, is just that his damage sucks. Even with Exort, he does, 61 damage? And that's with Exort and a Null and 2 branches, right? Sniper, though, is in a similar problem where, with a Wraith Band, he only has 48 damage. So that's all well and good. The key to playing Invoker in the laning phase is just getting as much XP as humanly possible, and farming, of course. But the XP is a really big thing, right? A hero like Sniper, every mid is dependent on XP, of course, but a hero like Sniper can get away with missing a few creeps. And yeah. And the nice thing is that you don't need to bring a ton of regen into lane, and you don't need to go bottle, for instance, just by managing Quas well. You do want to be, okay, so like right here, you're going to be CSing this momentarily. Ooh, you're taking a bunch of hits that you don't need to, my friend. Okay, so now what you should do is you should drop one of your tangos down on the ground, tango it. Excuse me, drop one of your branches down on the ground, tango the branch, and then that'll all be well and good. Right now, you're just kind of getting slapped around. This guy has a huge advantage in equilibrium, and that's why that's happening. Normally, what one does is you ferry out a salve. I assume that's what you're doing. Nope, that you're getting boots. So what you should have done is you should have gotten Rune and then immediately order a salve to you. You really need it on any of these heroes that don't go bottle, basically. It's one of these things where if you go bottle, you can kind of get away with it. Somebody's like cutting things downstairs in my house, so hopefully you can't hear that. Oh boy, okay, you're in a predicament right here. Oh boy, you... Oh, okay, you get the kill. If you had a fairy fire there, you would have You would have lived. But you didn't. So that's I mean, as an example, that's one of the times where if you had either used the branch tango method instead of just the tango method, you would have gotten that kill. Or if you had a fairy fire branch opening, then even if you didn't use your tango plus branch to get the double regen, you still would have gotten that. So I mean that's not a terrible trade, but the fact that he TP'd to lane and you finished a magic wand that you're not going to get any charges from is a core weakness. Yeah. I mean, this is one of those matchups that I honestly don't think you should be super aggressive in as Invoker. I assume this is just a misclick. The aggressive matchups you can do are against melee heroes, right, where you either get a point in alacrity early, or you just punch them a bunch. Something like a Timbersaw or a Juggernaut, and even if they have a PMS, you can still just use Sunstrike. Sunstrike, excuse me. You can just pop a bunch of Wex up, pop a bunch of Exort up. Jesus, I'm like, I'm all worried about the sound downstairs that I hope you guys can't hear. But yes, okay. Click our last hits. So this lane is just not going well, honestly. We're kind of mismanaging things. He wasted a shrapnel charge there, so this is good. I mean, one of the key things, if you watch high-tier pubs and pro games, what you'll see is that right from the get-go, both mids will try to zone the other mid out like crazy, and then they'll pop a branch tango on the ground, or they'll branch ground, tango the branch, they get the double regen, and they do that like right off the bat, like at like minute 1 or something. You could have pulled these creeps back a little bit. It's getting kind of screwed by the uphill miss here. Okay. Okay, so there's an illusion top, but you're not gonna go for it. Okay, you're just barely missing these CS, honestly. It's not the end of the world, but there's a learning curve, so to speak. So let's talk about what I do in Invoker, actually, just for context. So what I would do on Invoker, or what I do on Invoker, I should say, is I start with Null, Fairy Fire, and Tango. And then what I do is I buy a salve right when I get the rune. Then I go and then I buy my boots, and I usually buy a windlace, even if I'm not going drums, which I haven't been recently. I buy a windlace. Oh, that hurts. Oh boy, you'll be fine. I buy salve, and then yeah, I get boots, windlace, because you want to have that damage advantage. You're a very slow hero. Oh, we almost got that. And then I go Midas, and of course like you get a stick or a wand. Depends on the matchup. If they're not rotating on you, like in this game right in here, nobody's rotating on you. You could have had a Forge Spirit up here. It's not, they don't do much damage at this point, but they will trigger Cold Snap. Okay, 2, good, alright. Okay, here's where you don't want to be pushing this lane, so what you want to do is, see, you're hitting that creep, so you missed it. What you want to do is just have some Quas up right now, right? Because you don't need the Exort to get creeps when you're unfettered by a sniper. Where's this Zeus, by the way? Is this a support Zeus? Okay. So yeah, I mean, things have not gone great, honestly speaking, but they've not gone horribly. Invoker also needs the regen, right? So all the nerfs to, or not all of them, but a lot of the nerfs to Invoker in the last few months have been, or last few patches, I should say, have been to his mana pool, right? So now you don't get intelligence from Exort, you just get plus damage. You don't get, wait. Sorry, I'm a mess. Okay. Yeah, so you just get plus damage, not plus regen. I mean, not plus in. Okay, boy, first game of the day. Messing up my words. All right. And yeah, so since he doesn't have int, he just has plus damage, he has a lot less of an ability to just throw spells out all the time. So your mana pool is much more constrained, right? So a lot of people will buy raindrops, sometimes even 2 raindrops at once, just for the regen. I believe Waga for a while was doing a double raindrop build. Personally, I don't. But the thing is, I always kind of recoil at the idea of having raindrops against a sniper, because he's just going to shrapnel you and then you're going to lose all your raindrop charges. So it's a rough situation to be in. Nice. Nice, okay. That was good. I feel like you didn't need to necessarily take that hit, but overall, I'm not gonna gripe about that one. That was good. Oh, nice. You got a tango from that guy. All right, so you're gonna get that rune. Okay, we're kind of walking in a circuitous way. Oh, are we going back to base? Oh, this is not favorable. So what we could have done is we could have stayed, gotten a few creeps, because the lane's gonna push into us, right? So we either need to go to base right now and then TP in. And we TP in because we really want to get this XP from these two range creeps. This is important. You bought two TP scrolls for a reason. Yeah. This is a tad unfortunate. Okay. Again, we're just being a little okay. I mean, this is fine. Oh, nice. All right. This is better than fine. Okay. Also, I mean, I'm not gonna gripe about it, but Clockwork plus Invoker is a really strong combo. So you really didn't need to stay there and be slapping the guy around. You could have just thrown a Sunstrike down and gone and get CS. You missed like 1, maybe 2 CS that you could have gotten there. And that's one of those really little things, but you know, when you're trying to get a Midas, every 100 gold helps, right? Okay. Okay, so A-click one of these creeps. Right? Yeah, good. Right? You should have a Forge Spirit right now. Actually, you don't really need it, I'll be honest. I mean, Forge Spirit's really early game. Actually, I mean, you're level 7. I would get a Forge Spirit here. You may as well. Ooh, boy, this guy. Nah, he'll be fine. Alright, nice tower. You guys should be taking this tower right now. You can keep the pressure up. Ooh, yeah, okay, so now they're going to get the deny on this. See, if you're just slapping this around, I mean, Sniper can't step on you, and you can just, you know, step up to the plate and punch him around. Alright, yeah. I mean, getting the tower denied is not the end of the world, of course, but it is unfortunate that that happened. Right now, though, you'll get your, your Midas, and this is a good Midas time. And considering you have these foundational items like boots, null, magic wand, and you even bought a couple TP scrolls, which, like I said, every 100 gold matters, right? Like that's gonna delay you by a bit. This is good timing though for a Midas. If you have a Midas at 8, you're doing well. I mean, in an ideal world, like sometimes you can rush it and get it at like 6 with like null boots, but or even just null. Honestly, I've done that. I wouldn't advise that, but some games I'm just having a really easy lane and I like get first blood with a Sunstrike, maybe get another kill with a Sunstrike, and you farm well, and then you just take the easy way out. Okay. Similarly to Alchemist matchups, Sniper matchups, if he shrapnels the wave, you should just count on those really easy. Okay, Sunstrike, nice. Right. Just slap around this puck. Pudge. I mean, Pugna. Jesus. Oh, nice Ice Wall, dude. I am honestly amazed. That's a miracle. People don't use that ability. I am impressed. Okay, that was a great Ice Wall. I'm not gonna lie. I would not even bothered with the Ice Wall there. As much as I've like hundreds and hundreds of games of Invoker, I use Ice Wall, but only when it's easy, right? Like I'm not good with making those sideways Ice Wall plays that you just made. So that was good. That was an impressive little play. Okay, I don't really know what you're doing right here. You're not really accomplishing anything. You're just kind of like wasting your time. Okay, so let's talk about what we go from here. Nowadays, most people would just go for Aghanims here, right? Like they just go Boots, Null, Magic Wand, Midas, maybe a Windlaze, maybe not. Then you just go Ags. Okay, you could have put your Null and your Magic Wand in your backpack, put them right back, then you get even more mana from the Shrine. It's one of those things that's small, but it's the equivalent of, you know, an extra spell. Okay, nice, easy kills, and this person steals it. What an LC player, right? Okay, okay, so we're doing fine so far. Unfortunately, our Midas is off cooldown, and we don't have anything to go. We can go here. We want to Midas the Wildwing Ripper, since, of course, we're playing Invoker. We need the XP. We don't need the gold, right? The fundamental thing is if you need gold, you Midas the Wild Wings. If you need XP, you Midas the large one. Okay, so this is good so far. Some people would go in, and they would just go in right away for... Again, we should really have a Forge Spirit here. There's really no reason not to. Like, you don't need cold snap, right? Right? Like, the thing about Invoker, right, is that you want to always have the two abilities you have queued up are really important, right? Because they are the things that you don't have to worry about and you can immediately cast. You don't have to do the extra button presses and all that. So that's why you usually like to have Sunstrike queued up if you're just farming, because you don't really use abilities to farm, right? Like you use Alacrity, you use Forge Spirits, but other than that, you don't use Cold Snap, you don't use Meatball, you don't use Tornado, you don't use stuff like that. Just barely missed him. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's really no reason to have Cold Snap queued up while you're jungling, right? Fundamentally speaking, you want to always have, I would say, Sunstrike, and then I usually would say Alacrity, and toggle Alacrity and a Forge Spirit. Again, I feel like we're not denying these creeps, right? I don't know if I finished that thought earlier, but when a sniper shrapnels a wave, or when an alchemist does his thing to a wave, acid sprays a wave, and we're just missing CS for no reason. We want to just deny, right? It's easy to deny, right? It's incremental damage that we can expect, right? We know, okay, this is going to do 30 damage, 30 damage, 30 damage, 30 damage, then it's going to die, so I deny it, right? Because Sniper's gotten probably a couple hundred golds worth of range creeps that he should not have. Okay, this is good, this is good, you're minusing all the right creeps. Level 10, I've seen some people skip the talent at 10. I kind of don't mind that at all. For the point in, you know, Hex, I mean, point in Hex, point in Wex, or point in Quas, I think it's fine. I actually played a game against a guy that just skipped his talent tree until like 23, 24, 25. It was weird, but, you know, to each their own. Actually, that's a lie. Not to each their own. That's bad, but I can see skipping it at 10. I have played games where at 14, 15, I will go in for my talents. Because Invoker's talents are good, of course, but they're nothing, you know, revolutionary. Or at least his level 10 talents, I should say. Okay, so where are we? Alright, let's actually... Okay, so I want to talk about something, but I want to look up the stats first, just in case. Alright, Dota buff, Invoker. Alright, so with his level 15 talent, I've actually been playing around with something where I go in for the XP gain. See, the vast majority of people, and the win rates actually support this, go in for Forge Spirit, and that's what I've done the vast majority of games, but recently I've had a few games where I have gone in for the 30% XP gain and just tried to end the game super fast. And it makes it so if you die, you're punished like crazy, right? Because your death timer is going to be longer than everybody's, because you're going to be naturally so much higher level. But the fact of the matter that you have so many more levels in Quas, and you have more levels in Exort, so many levels in Wex, you are... It's a nice bit of strength that you would not otherwise have. Ooh, nice. Gonna kill this guy. Alright. Okay, so we didn't minus that creep, but, well, okay, we minus the small one. Whatever. There's value. I mean, you don't want to waste 10 seconds of the cooldown. We could be pushing a bit more aggressively with our team here. I mean, obviously this is a solo queue game, right? But at the same time, wow, this is such a waste. We could be. I mean, we could be pushing. You're at a nice point in your power spike, right? Like, we know this is going to be a long game, so it's not a huge deal. And since it's a long game, it's good. I assume you're not going to go over the 30% XP, but I just want to point out that while the stats do not support it being the thing, I would say that it's not bad. Like, it's viable if you want to. Okay, so let's see how you use your actual abilities. We haven't gotten into really the bulk of Invoker performance. We've just kind of been, you know, we just kind of done laning and farming Invoker. Okay. Playing Invoker against Pugna is one of the most miserable matchups, by the way. So, God rest your soul. Okay. Nice, okay, throw a Sunstrike. Nice, he's dead, okay. And then we could just throw a Cold Snap on this person. Okay, we didn't. We just did the Panic Ice Ball. Okay, ooh boy, this is a scary predicament to be in. Oh, and you're dead. Okay, so I mean, we should have... Okay, he'll die though. Okay. I mean, this is not terrible, of course, but it's just not great. She was just kind of getting massacred by a sniper. Ooh, boy, almost hit him with that. Okay. Yeah, so what went wrong there? I mean, they obviously had a sentry and you couldn't account for that necessarily. But you should have used your Cold Snap before your Ghost Walk. You could have also tornadoed that guy when he was life draining you. Or you could have, I mean, you couldn't have Cold Snapped him, but life drain, you know where he is, right? Like, it shows it. So, you could have ended that earlier. But still, I mean, it was a fine fight for you guys. It just could have gone better. Okay. I've seen a lot more Yule's Invoker semi-recently because you really do need that, oh boy, you're boned. Oh wow, okay, you're super lucky that this slaughter sucks. I'll be honest. Like, that should not have happened that way. Okay, so if we talk about what the ideal would have been, right, if we go back to here, okay, so you're in here, you're gonna get caught out by these two, they're pincering you very, very intelligently. Okay, you get that Midas. Okay, so the one play you could have made is this, right? This works because they're bad, right? Like, I'm not gonna, I'll be honest with you, that should not have worked, but it did. What you should have done more easily is you could have just tornadoed both of them, right? PA jumps on you, you tornado, it hits like maybe like 25 units behind you. But you could have tornadoed both of them, or even just tornado the Slaughter, right? The Slaughter is the only important one. Oh, nice, tornado. Okay, this guy should not... Oh, yeah, okay, he's dead. I was going to say, tornadoes... It's hard to estimate damage when you're playing tornado, when you have a low Wex tornado. You just kind of got to ballpark it. A lot of Invoker play is just feeling it out, right? Like, you just play a couple, like, dozens or hundreds of games of Invoker, and you just kind of gradually figure it out. Like, oh, you know, this is going to do more or less this much damage. I'm expected to do this much, you know, yada, yada, yada. Tornado's going to last this long. Again, you don't really want to be frontlining here. That's a very dangerous place to be, considering they're always going to have Pugna wards. It's actually a good game to review, since the Pugna is such an astoundingly problematic problem. Astoundingly problematic English language. It's an incredibly problematic hero to be playing Invoker against. So you really want to either kill the ward early. You can deal with Forward Spirits too, which is nice. Oh, okay, this is a bit bad. Okay, well he should just be, yeah, okay, alright. Nice, alright, and you should just be leaving like you are. Okay, good, 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 good. Your teammates are staying because they're dumb, but, you know, we're not coaching them, so whatever. Okay, we should be making a detour to use our Midas at this camp, or this camp. Obviously this camp is the large camp, so... But we're not. So we're wasting a whole bunch of Midas cooldown right here. You could have pretty safely been farming. Throw out a couple Forge Spirits. Again, we need to switch our items into our backpack to save mana. It doesn't make a huge difference in the early game when it's like, oh, you know, it's just a null. But it makes a noticeable difference even then. And now when you have all these things like a point booster, it makes a big difference. Okay. Alright, so all in all though, things are going alright. Okay, so now commonly we would talk, or now commonly what we'd see is either Yules, or we would see BOTs. And sometimes we'd see Blink, but usually I get Blink after this. Usually my items, if you look at my Invoker games, would be something like this, and then usually a Windlace. Oh, yeah, usually like a Windlace, and then I would go BOTs, and then I would go Blink. Some games, though, you need Yules. This is actually a game I would say you need Yules. Even if nothing else, just for the Slardar amp damage. And when you have Yules and Blink, that is quite a good deal of synergy between those two items. So that's something to think about. This is actually a really good Invoker game for your team, though. Like, you have some of the easiest Sunstrikes in the entire world in this game, right? Like, you have a Zeus to scout for you, you have a LC to duel people and lock them down, you have a Mirana to arrow people and lock them down, and you have a Clockwork to cogs people and lock them down for Sunstrikes, right? Like, some games it's really hard to Sunstrike. This is not one of those. Like, this is a great Invoker game. Okay. Alright, so what are we going to do from here? This is the basic combo, of course. I mean, clearly you know this. I didn't actually look at your Dota buff to see how many Invoker games you have, but the Tornado into Chaos Meteor into Deafening Blast is one of the classic combos. The other, of course, being Tornado EMP Cold Snap. That's the Quas Wex combo. And then there's the Tornado Chaos Meteor EMP Deafening Blast combo. And then you can throw Sunstrike in there too. That's a little harder to do, but quite effective. Okay. Did he win that duel? Yeah, he did. Alright. Okay, again, we have our Midas off cooldown. We want to Midas the range creep wherever it is. We Midas that. Honestly, that's not a huge deal, but that is a slightly inefficient. Okay, so we know where they're coming from. We can just throw a Tornado and get multiple here. Okay, Tornado. Tornado. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, we got 3. Nice. We got even more than 3. Alright. Okay, that Cold Snap is going to do nothing. So, bit unnecessary Cold Snap there, but great Tornado combo, right? It's perfect to be on this flank here, or flank anywhere, right? Like if they're running up here, you want to be flanking here, or flanking here, and using those horizontal spells, right? Like you can, doing it vertically or horizontally, right? The horizontal has a certain aspect that I actually like to it, where people don't expect it, right? They expect the Tornado to be coming straight down, but when it comes to a left or right, you can get more people, especially in these choke points, where you know, hey, they're going to be moving through this area, coming in here. So that was nice. Alright. Okay, so we got our BOTs, that's good. Now is where you would like to have a small item. Right, like it would just be nice to have like a Windlace, for instance, and in place of your TP scroll, or a null, a raindrop. From here, I would like to go Blink. That would kind of be my choice. This would be, oh God, I hate to say it, but this is a pretty decent BKB game just for the sake of dealing with the Pugna. I'll be perfectly honest. I almost never build Invoker BKB, but the time where I think about it is either in games where I'm against an OD or games where I'm against a Pugna. Invoker is nice in that you can build a lot of these stat items like Lincolns, and as long as you have your, like, you don't really need items, right? It's not like you're playing one of these heroes that's like, all right, well, I need to have Blink Dagger, and I need to have Force Staff, and I need to have Ags. It's like, okay, your only really necessary items are Midas and Ags. After that, it's kind of like, okay, well, they're generally good items, right? But you can do a lot of different things, right? So you're playing Invoker, you can go in for a physical damage focused build where you go like Scythe, Bloodthorn, or you can go in for a Necro Book if you really need it. Necro Book's weaker than it used to be right now. Like, it's not a favorite item, but it's honestly still not bad if you're in a game where you're like, all right, well, I really need a Necro Book for whatever reason. I've done it semi-recently. But a lot of times I think the basics are right. Like I would just go Blink, and then I would go Octarine, and then I would go Scythe, and then I'd probably go Refresher last. Or I'd go in for Shiva's Scythe, or Bloodthorn Scythe, or Shiva's Bloodthorn. Refresher I like a lot, but honestly it's not. Oh boy, you just barely missed that one. That was weird. Okay. The Refresher is good, but it is hard to do for obvious reasons. But if you can get away with it, go for it. Oh, nine almost. Okay. Again, we assume. Okay, you did go for the XP gain. All right, so you actually did what I'm kind of interested in. So XP gain has something like 6.2% lower win rate than Forge Spirits, but the advantage you get from just being higher level than everybody is actually pretty huge. And I wouldn't say that it is worth it in all games, but I could see in some games where you're really snowballing, or where you want to end the game at like 30 or 40 minutes, it's pretty viable, right? Like it's 25 minutes and you're level 19, right? If we look towards level, you're 19, Sniper is 17, and your thing has only been kicking in for like the last few minutes. Forge Spirits are pretty darn good though, to be honest. I'm not gonna like pussyfoot around it. Like it is. Oh, okay, all right. Oh boy, we're in the danger zone here, my friend. Okay. Okay, we could just cold snap that guy. Okay. Yep, nice Sunstrike. All right, we know our combos. That's good. All Alright, plenty of dual damage for our Legion Commander. Okay, want to kill this before doing anything else? That's not what we're doing, though. Okay, Ice Wall. No, okay, we're just wasting time here. Really? We've bought BOTs and we've, like, only used them once. Okay. The whole reason your whole team doesn't have mana is just because you guys did not focus in on killing that stupid Pugna Ward. And this guy's going to die for it. You guys are really right away. And people don't really pick Pugna that much, but if you do play a lot of Invoker, you will notice Pugna more often. Okay, you want to put your axe in your backpack. Oh my gosh. Nice. Again, this is Pugna has not put up his ward yet, which is hashtag the dream. Okay. So yeah, that ward in that last fight really screwed you, like completely. The whole reason why you guys, I mean, they chase you like idiots. They were stupid. Like they chase people going to Shrine, right? Like, that should not have happened. But regardless of that, you guys did not get your kills here because Pugna's ward was right in sight, and you guys just chose not to kill it. So that was a real issue, honestly speaking. Hey, another thing to do that will net you, you know, a good few hundred gold over the course of a game. When you're in base and you are regenning, just throw a Sunstrike on a ranged creep and just get the money. Or a melee creep if you can get it. I mean, you know, really throw a Sunstrike wherever. Or like a neutral creep, honestly, if you have the vision of them. It's all those little optimization things that make the big difference. Another thing you can do if you are in one of these places of the map where you're trying to run somewhere and you have the mana to do it, but you need to use your Midas cooldown on something productive. Okay, you're on BKB, that's fine. Is you can Sunstrike for the vision. Like if you're running here and you need to Midas this, but you don't want to be inefficient and make this whole thing. You could just throw a Sunstrike here, Midas this big creep, and then move on and throw a forge creep to kill these. We could throw a forge creep down there, but then that's to be like a preemptive thing. But using Sunstrike for vision is something that is not bad to do. Or Tornado for vision, but you can't Tornado into a Midas, since the Tornado vision's not big enough. Man, you guys are all building... Okay, he's not building a BKB. You're building a BKB. I mean, that's the responsible play, the BKB. It's just not the... It's not the play I would make, but it's probably the right play, I'll be honest. It's just kind of... I fall into the trap where I'm like, oh, I can just outplay it. I can outplay the Pugna Ward, I can outplay whatever, but... Actually, that's kind of a lie. Pugna Ward is the time where I would go BKB. Other abilities are where I'm like, oh, I can outplay it, I'll be fine. Okay, this is a great time. Okay. Okay, again, we're taking 1 billion damage from Pugna Ward. We should not have tornadoed that, right? The tornado is a lot of times just used for setup, right? I was actually criticizing this in a different game where somebody played Invoker in a DotP stack that I was reviewing. You don't want to use your tornado when people are already locked down, right? Tornado is used fundamentally as either a catch for people that are running away or as setup for EMP, for Tornado, or, excuse me, for Chaos Meteor, or for Deafening Blast, basically. Or for Sunstrike if you're particularly good at it, timing it. Something I mess up all the time. I honestly don't really focus too much on the Sunstrike timing. But you lose something, basically, if you have... I mean, right, there's no reason using a setup skill if they're already set up. That's what I'm trying to get to, right? The Clockwork had it all set up here, right? You had a Cogs here. Slaughter had nowhere to go. If you just Meteor, Deafening Blast, both of them die. You didn't have your BKB yet, unfortunately, so you took a boatload of damage from Pugna Ward. Again, I mean, it's hard to do with an entire team since you're not coordinated in a random pub. But really, you need to just run away from Pugna Ward. This is such a, like, it's a non-factor in the vast majority of games, but these games with Pugna are incredibly problematic to deal with. Or, yeah. Same thing with BKB people. Like, this PA is going to have BKB soon. You kind of just need to suck it up and just leave immediately, right? Like, he BKBs, he pops on you. He doesn't have an Abyssal yet, and you can't do anything really while he's BKB'd. So you just need to... I need it south. Okay, whatever. So you just need to, like, Ghost Walk, run away. Then re-engage when the BKBs are down. Wait, this is unfortunate that we have this Midas off cooldown, but such is life. Okay, okay, we're grouping up. Again, we're like level 22 already. We're making moves. We're so close to this BKB that I'm kind of, it's a bit of a unnecessary risk to be running around in trying to find fights, right? Fundamentally, one of the basic things about Dota, right, is that you need to be careful about when you're going to fight, because you want to fight around right when you get good items is when you want to fight, right? Because the other team presumably are working towards items and you have just gotten your items. Similarly, when you're close to an item but do not quite have it, that's when you don't want to fight. Okay. So like this next fight, we don't know yet, of course, but this next fight could go horribly wrong because you guys could just get Pugna warded again. Okay, we should have a 3 X-Sword up right now. You want a Tornado right away, and you can Tornado and catch him, okay? Okay. Again, we should just be backing off, just taking the tower. We can relax, you know, Clockwork took a little damage, but that's fine. Okay, ooh, nice, okay. Okay, alright, we killed the ward halfway through that combo, so... Oh, okay. Wow, you got. I mean, actually, this is an important thing to talk about. They did exactly what I was talking about, and you guys did not, right? They had just gotten their PA-BKB. The PA-BKB is the only reason you died, right? Like, that PA-BKB denied Legion Commander dual damage and killed you, effectively. And so their ability to fight around that and your guys' inability to get your items is why they won that fight. Right? Like, you guys could have just been very disciplined and taken this tier 2 and then backed off and said, okay, they have BKBs, they have all these new things, they have full health, they haven't used any of their ults, we've used a bunch of things, and then you could have left, but you didn't do that. Okay. Again, we're close to our BKB. We could just sell this Null or the Wet Wand. I would sell Null in this situation because you want to have the Wand. But you could sell that to finish your BKB out. Like, sell that in the salve. I don't know why you picked up a salve at 30 minutes. But, you know, whatever. And this game has just gone so off the tracks because of the Pugna, honestly. If this was like any other Invoker game, I would be focusing a lot more on just how to play Invoker. But your Invoker fundamentals are quite good so far, I would say. You're really just... playing around Pugna is really where the issue is coming from. As it should be, right? Like, that's why he picked Pugna, presumably. He picked Pugna to create an issue for you, the Invoker player. Okay. Okay, good. Alright. And then, yeah, we can just leave. Okay. We could just Tornado him. Okay, alright. No Tornado now. EMP, that's good. Okay, he's gonna BKB. Okay, again, we could have just stayed around. Okay, alright. Nice, okay. A little messy, but you guys got the job done. That's fine. If you're trying to Sunstrike somebody, just like force them to try to keep killing you, and then Sunstrike on top of yourself. That's an easy play to make compared to that play that you made, which was safe, but I feel like you could have gotten away with it. Maybe you would have gotten a lucky crit and you would have got. Well, it could have gone either way, honestly. Okay, now our BKB coming to us. That's good. Okay, we could have put it in our inventory a little earlier, but it doesn't make a big difference. Okay, and now we just have a wasted Null, right? So we should have just sold this already and just had the reliable gold aspect, but that's kind of nitpicky. The backpack has, let's see how to talk about this. The backpack has some. There's a whole metagame to backpack usage that is kind of a new thing post 7.0, and you have to be very aware of it, right? Because you need to use your backpack properly, but not overuse it, right? So like right now you're overusing your backpack. Like, you don't realistically need either of these items, let's be honest. Okay. Kind of wasted both of those abilities. That's fine. You could just Deafening Blast him. Yep, okay, alright, that's fine. We should have just Cold Snapped him right away. I think, fundamentally, okay, so if I had to make, like, a flowchart, it wouldn't be a good flowchart. I don't make flowcharts. Okay, if I had to make a, basically, list of what abilities should I use when a Slaughter is in between your heroes, right, you had, like, a hero here, a hero here, and then you over here, just Cold Snap them, right? Cold Snap is for use on single targets, whereas Tornado is used for setup, and then an ability like Alacrity is used to, again, kind of for setup almost. So, in that instance, we should have just Cold Snapped him, or we didn't need to even chance it and try to cast Tornado. Even if we hit him with a Tornado, it still would not have been super useful. Tornado also has a delaying aspect to it, where if you Tornado somebody, it lets their teammates obviously come towards them, which a lot of times is not relevant, but in times like that, right, where this guy's getting caught out, if you're catching somebody out, you don't want to use abilities that delay, right, because that defeats the purpose of catching somebody out, right? If you're catching them out, you want to kill them as soon as humanly possible, and especially a hero like Slardar, he's just going to run away from you, so you want to put on firm disables, not soft disables, right? I would categorize Tornado as a soft disable, because it disables them, but it does not disable them in the sense that a stun or a disarm does, right? Actually, disarms are also another soft disable. That's a term I've made up just now, actually. But I would kind of stand by that idea. Tornado, it is a disable, yeah, it prevents them from doing things, but at the same time, it prevents you guys from doing things to them. Okay. Another thing you can do is, I mean, when you're this high level, your Forge Spirits are pretty darn effective, especially if you went double Forge Spirit talent. You could just jungle cast with Forge Spirits, and then then just lane with your Invoker, or vice versa. This is something that you see more commonly with double Forge Spirit builds, of course, but this is one of the reasons why Invoker was OP before. He was always just farming jungle and farming lane with Forge Spirits and Invoker separately, right? Almost like a Meepo that's only 2 Meepos. You would hit 8 on Invoker back in the day, 6 months ago or whatever, and then you would lane with your hero and jungle with your Forge Spirits or vice versa. So, you could still do that, you just have to wait until you hit 15, or wait until, you're higher level and you have you have maxed abilities. Okay, so you went for Tornado cooldown and stats. I like this. This is what I do. Almost every game I go for Tornado cooldown. Very rarely do I go Deafening Blast AoE. The only time I go Deafening Blast AoE is if they have a whole bunch of melee heroes. Yeah, that's really it. Like, in this game, for instance, if we had AoE Deafening Blast, in a lot of situations, we would just get Slardar and PA, right? Maybe we'll get Sniper, but if his positioning is good, we won't get Sniper. Whereas Tornado cooldown, it just gives you a lot of things to use, especially when you have the minus 18 seconds Tornado cooldown. It brings the cooldown to 12. Then on top of that, you get your Octarine Core, which brings it down to another, like, 10, right? Because it's 25% CDR, right? Yeah, it's 25%. I'm, like, so certain. More fighting. Okay. Okay. Whoops, I'm clicking all around. Okay, so we're just kind of being ineffective. Again, we should just be disengaging when we see him do this. We could... Okay, alright. We're kind of just throwing stuff around. Yeah. Okay. So our positioning in that fight... Let's actually... I need to go back. I was too distracted. Okay, so... Alright, so we're pushing this tier 2, right? We have half mana, which means we can do basically everything once, but we can't be too adventurous. Okay, we have a decent ability by him. Okay, he uses his BKB, but we're still engaging for some ungodly reason. Okay, really what should have happened is he should have BKB'd and we should have left. Right, okay, now we're positioned forward, we missed that, okay, and then we just die. Okay, so we're basically just engaging poorly. Right, or I should say, we engaged fine and then we followed up poorly. That's probably how I would say it better. Also, again, we probably just should have killed this right away. With Alacrity, you can kill this thing so fast. Like, it has... How many hits does it take to kill a Pugna Ward? It's actually 4, right? You get 4 hits out in the space of, like, a second and a half, 2 seconds, maybe, with Alacrity up. Even without Alacrity up, you just pop 3 Wex, and then you just go to town on that Pugna Ward. So that is a consistent issue in this entire game. Okay. Yeah, anyway, to go back to this, the only time I'd pick attack speed is if I was doing like, I don't know. I was doing like a physical damage build with like Scythe, Mjolnir, Bloodthorn or something. Or like a Deso, I don't know. Yeah, I would almost never pick attack speed. Like 7 stats, man, that's good. That's what, 140 health, 7 damage, almost 100 extra mana. That is, you know, a very small amount of mana regen. That's in a full piece of armor. So yeah. Okay. See, now the game has gone to 40 minutes, and they're basically caught up to you on levels, right? You hit 25 way before them, but you only okay. So this is basically the issue with these kind of talents, the XP gain talents, is they fall off, right? Because eventually everybody hits level 25, or if you take a couple bad fights and die, then it evens it out, right? Even like if you're level 21 and they're level 18, they take 2 good fights, they're level 21, and you're still level 21 because you died or whatever. So that is why a lot of these talents are weaker. Also, now that you're 25, you should be using Midas, and you should be using it on small creeps. Okay, alright. Easy kill. Man, these guys have avoided like every arrow. Oh, they did not avoid that though. Alright. Okay, your tornadoes need a little work. You had some really good ones earlier, but tornado is something of an art form. It's one of those abilities that seems a lot easier to use than it is. Okay, good, you're just staying, you can get this. Okay, oh boy, yeah, we're taking a whole boatload of damage. Okay, yep, and we may die here. Oh, no, we're not. Yeah, we have not used our BKB yet, right? Like 10-second BKB, yeah. If your BKB was at like 5 seconds or 6 seconds, I would have said just use it for that. Okay, alright, tornado him. Or just cold snap him, like blink cold snap. Yeah. Just to disable his BKB. I mean, oh my god, dude, this Clockwork, what a player, man. Nice. Alright, dude, this Clockwork is just balling out of control, dude. What a... Well, I was about to say what a hooker. No, not what a hooker. What a good person at landing hooks. He's an angler. Okay, again, this is something of a waste. Like, you have to go back anyway, right? And, like, they just took their tier 2. It's, like, kind of a pipe dream, right? Neither team has taken Roche, but it is a foreseeable future where you use that shrine, it's gone for whatever it is, 6 minutes, 5 minutes? Yeah, 5 minutes. They take Roche, then they push your tier 3 bottom. You guys don't have this shrine, right? You're gimped in effect just because you want it to be a tiny bit more faster. So don't do that. Also, again, switch your items out. Like, just pop your point booster into your backpack. Alright. Pop your Midas back into your inventory. Okay, it didn't pop your smoke, so you wasted this. I don't know if that was just impulse and you just messed up because everybody does that, or if that was just a not knowing how the thing works. But when you're smoked, it's only popped by heroes, right? So if you run into an illusion, or if you run into an illusion, that's about it. Then you're like, oh, you think, oh boy, they're there. But they're not. Oh boy, how did he miss that? Okay. Anyway, this is good so far. Doing some damage. Alright. Okay, and this Aegis should go on LC, I'd say. She could frontline pretty well. You could take it. I don't think it'd be necessarily the best play, though. You guys are really not good at pushing. Like, now I can see why this game takes so long. Like, the NA team, they have a sniper. He's good at hitting buildings. They have a Pugna that he's good at hitting buildings. Whereas your team is like, okay, we have Zeus, incapable of dealing damage to buildings, basically. Invoker, good at pushing, but not great at high grounding in the sense that he needs things to go his way. He can't just do it at no cost. I'd still say he's good, though, but just not great. Elsie, not really good at all, right? Because you need to be back, you need to blink on people and surprise them. Okay. And Mirana, this build is not great at buildings. Like, she could be good at buildings if continuing forward in this game she goes into like a MKB and a Mjolnir or like a Daedalus or not Daedalus, Desolator. But right now we're a little behind. Okay, this is a good call though. You want to finish your item before you guys push. That's fair. And we just about got it. Okay, okay, alright. If our impulses are a little... We really... Okay, cold snap him. Cold snap him. He's just going to run through that. Ow. Oh boy. Alright. Blink, blink, blink. Blink, blink, blink. Okay, alright. We really didn't need the BKB there. That was just kind of a scotch unnecessary. And again, we're using shrines where you don't really need to. We have BOTs, dude. Just like run back to base. Yeah, we know she BKB'd. We can kill her right here, right? We just need a blink, cold snap, cold snap. Okay, we're using tornado way too much, honestly. This is a real issue. Not cold snap, sorry. We're using tornado way too much. We didn't need the tornado there, right? Like if the sniper and the slaughter were continuing forward with her, they could have blinked on you and killed you guys, or blinked on you and at least incapacitated you guys in the sense you guys would not have been able to kill. But instead. Yeah, I mean, I think really what I said earlier about when it's one person alone, use Cold Snap. When it's multiple people, use Tornado. But Cold Snap's just better than Tornado in situations like that. We know she doesn't have her BKB up. If we do know she has BKB up, she's going to waste it, and then we just run away, right? All these kind of things are mitigated by us using Cold Snap instead of Tornado. Right. You can alacrity, yeah, him, because he has his Aegis. Okay, we should be, actually we don't need to Sunstrike that since he has that. Okay. Okay, alright, we should use our BKB here. We're still getting hit by this. We're trying to take tower, but we don't deal enough damage. Okay, we walked forward unnecessarily. And we never used our BKB. We need to use BKB. So, okay, let's talk about this a little. So, your team is not a sieging team, right? The Radiant team is a sieging team, right? They're one of the most siegey teams, so to speak, right? When they're pushing, let's talk about basically what I'm trying to get at is the different ways that you push. So, the Radiant team with their team comp, what they do is they siege, right? So you're going to, let's say you're trying to high ground this bottom. Okay. So what they do is they throw a shrapnel on top of the tower, let's say. Or let's say they have vision. But if they don't have vision, they throw a shrapnel on top of the tower. They can attack it from far away, and they slowly whittle it down. And it doesn't matter if you guys are all alive. You guys have, the onus is on you guys to engage on them and prevent them from pushing. They also have Pugna, who's going to walk up and throw Nether Blast down, take this tower real easy. So the onus is on you guys to prevent them from doing that and to go in on them, you know, Clockwork Hook, etc., Tornado, EMP, yada, yada, yada. The Radiant team, though, what they do, I mean, rather, your team sucks at doing that, right? Like, your team has no ability to just push towers by sieging, right? You're not a really siegey team. You can with, like, Forged Spirits and Alacrity, but it's going to be super slow, super ineffective, and it's just bad. The way that you guys get around that, though, is you guys have to basically kill them, right? You guys have a great team at killing these people, right? Like Zeus, Invoker, Clockwork, LC, Mirana. Like, you guys deal a ton of damage. You guys just got to catch people out and kill them, and then you push, right? So you guys are effective at pushing when you're not fettered by the opponents, whereas they're good at pushing regardless of the opponents. And that's just the nature of team comps, right? So you guys need to get pickoffs, or you need to start sieging, force them to engage into you, and then you know, blink strike, tornado EMP or Clockwork or whatever them. So that's really why you guys lost that fight, right? So you were trying to siege, you were here, but they just caught you out, right? They were in their home turf, so to speak. The sniper was hitting you from back here. You guys had no way to get on top of him. It was just bad all around. Okay, nice, easy dual damage. So, using this as an example, this is a great time for you guys to push, as you're apparently doing. And good, you the 3 cold snap. No, you want 3 quas. You want 3 quas. You need health, you want 3 quas. Good, okay. So now, exactly like I was saying, this is your time to push, right? They are very good at deterring you guys, but not when they're missing even one of their players, right? I don't know why we used our BKB there, because we're just getting attacked by a PA. But I'm not going to focus on that too much because I wasn't watching. Okay. Again, we should have Alacrity up. Oh my god, why is this guy getting got? Nice, alright. So that was just a bad push. I don't even know, like, everybody's just staying in shrapnel, and Sniper just got a bunch of hits off. Use your Midas. Use Midas. Use Midas. 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 I would go Shiva's this game, by the way. You need armor. Definitely a Shiva's game. Okay. Okay, good tornado. Okay. Again, we're not using Alacrity. We're dead now. Okay, and again, we've just tried the high ground poorly. Well, I didn't realize this game was 50 minutes long. I mean, I didn't realize we were at 50 minutes. I know it's like an hour and something. Okay. The sniper has become a very, very big issue. Yeah. Oh man, he went for 4 shrapnel charges? That is annoying. Oh boy. Oh, okay. We're dead. I mean, we can't really do anything about this. We're just watching. Let's jump ahead a bit. Okay, alright. Yeah, so now that was just a bad engage. Oh my god, I really hope this guy doesn't do this. Oh god, this is so throwy. Oh my god. This is the throwiest thing in the world. Okay, so fortunately, you're very good at D-pushing. Okay, so you just want... Okay. Nearly killed him, but you're dead instead. Okay, so you did not need to be there. Okay, so let's talk about that engage, right? So you should not have engaged. What you should have done is D-push, right? So Invoker's incredibly good at D-pushing because you just Tornado, you use EMP, you use Chaos Meteor, you use Ghost Walk, you use Ice Wall. So all these abilities which either hinder them from pushing or just straight up prevent them from pushing, right? Pushing uphill into a Ice Wall is an incredibly arduous task. I mean, obviously they have a Sniper who could sit down here, but he'll have mischance. Pushing upwards and then getting Tornado, pushing upwards and having all your creeps die right away. All these things are huge issues that should have been there, but were not because you tried to go in for kills when that was not your place. Man, this is one tanky Slardar. This guy. Okay, alright. If he was just using his abilities right. I swear, these people are so good at dodging hooks. I mean, dodging arrows. Bad at dodging hooks, except for when that happens. And so we're still dead. Yes, I mean, we should have D-pushed, and instead we tried to fight. But fundamentally, there's no way you would win that fight, right? If you guys had taken that fight like you did, there's no upside, right? Like, it's not like you're some 9-slotted Naga Siren that is going to be able to 1v5 the team, right? You're just an Invoker that has D-push and dies fairly easily. So that was bad. That was very an unfortunate decision. We should also, I mean, this is not a huge deal at this point in the game, but it is not insignificant. We should have minused a range creep still, because the small creeps give more money than range creeps. So, and the range creep gives more XP. Even though you're level 25, right, you may as well be minusing the range creeps. Let's see, 50, 54, 51. That's 58. Okay, so I'm wrong. You want to minus the small creeps. They keep freaking swapping that, man. Yeah, okay, so just always minus the range creep if you want gold, and minus the small creep if you want. Sorry, minus the range creep if you want XP, minus the small creep if you want gold. Again, we're being inefficient. We should be alacritating ourselves whenever we do any kind of farming. It's really, I mean, once you're at this point in the game, there's really no reason not to have alacrity up if you're farming. Alacrity and creeps, that's smart. That's good. Not being sarcastic, that's just the thing to do. We saw a bunch of really good plays with our Blink Dagger earlier in this game, right? We had some nice blink into a place, tornado, EMP, etc. Unfortunately, I have not seen that recently. The blink when you are sieging is used a bit differently, and they have really good high ground. So, oh boy, we still have less. Let's look to its net worth. Okay, so you're still second on net worth, but that's gonna fall off. I mean, this Slardar is quite tanky. He's quite a beast. And you guys are actually really bad at killing him. Like, the guy's 25 armor, and you guys don't really do physical damage. Other than LC, of course. But he's not 25 yet, so... Alright, smoked. This is, an interesting play. Okay, we need to lead with our clockwork. Oh boy, okay. Oh man, okay, so your guys' reaction time was just terrible there. Man, you guys are dead. Alright, so yeah, I mean, you guys are just slow. I'm not gonna be overly nice. I'm just gonna say you guys were slow. You definitely need to buy back here, so that was a good buyback. But you guys could have tornadoed, etc. You guys could have clockwork hooked, but instead you guys just didn't react fast enough. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. That's just you guys. You know, it's like a Old West shootout, right? And you guys just didn't draw fast enough. Okay, that's good. Throw a Sunstrike in there for the sake of it. Yeah, but really, you don't need to. Okay, again, I mean, we shouldn't use Midas right now because we have our buyback gold penalty, but our Midas has been off cooldown for a bunch of times where it should not have been. Or rather, yeah, where it should not have been. Also, I mean, Midas is reliable gold too, which is doubly important in times like these where you're using buybacks and all that. Okay, alright, this is... Alright. Just barely missed that, but I mean, it wouldn't have done much anyway. Man, Pugna, what a disgusting hero. I hate Pugna so much. Yeah, we should just send a Forge Spirit to kill us. Oh god, we're getting jumped. Okay, we could have QQWRD'd our way to safety. We're dead for 120 now. I mean, this game fundamentally is just a good example of a team with no carries, no like true carries, getting killed by a team with a bunch of carries at super late game. Right, like they just deal a ton of physical damage. You guys have a ton of magic damage. Magic damage falls off, right? Because they just build a ton of health, build a ton of everything. Okay. Okay, I mean, only losing one tier 3 and one range rack. I mean, one melee racks for this, or one both racks. Boy, you guys are actually gonna lose a whole heck of a lot for this. Never mind. Again, this is one of those times where you guys should have just depushed. Not you. I mean, you guys in like the whole team sense, but you were not there. But your teammates, instead of trying to depush, they tried to fight, and they lost the fight obviously because this sniper is super stacked. Man, you guys are not gonna. Are you guys gonna lose right now? You have 10 seconds until Zeus is up. Zeus will be up. What does he have? Oh, he doesn't have a refresher. Boy, oh god. All right, maybe Zeus can depush. Let's see. I'm honestly don't know. Okay, good. You'll kill him. Yeah, you'll depush. You'll be fine. You're up in 10. Oh boy, maybe you won't. Yeah, maybe. Oh boy. All right, maybe you guys are screwed. Let's see. Oh, is Sniper gonna run away? You're up. Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Okay, we missed. All right, use your BKB here. BKB. Okay, never mind. You don't need to. Nice. All right. Okay. Nice. Okay. That was good. Honestly, I think they could have won that game if they had just been disciplined and killed the Ancient, but instead they kind of tried to kill Zeus and dicked around a bit. Okay, so let's see how long this game lasts. I mean, also, let's see if you guys win. I mean, they didn't take that melee barracks, so really all that happened was they took your tier 4s, took one lane of racks, and then they took a range racks. So, I have come back from worse. I think all of us have, right? And we've all lost to more better. I don't know. Okay, alright. So, yeah, we're going in for Scythe. I mean, Scythe plus Octarine is quite nice. Scythe in general is quite nice. I feel like Shiva's is the safe play. But Scythe is good. I mean, we know, like, this Sniper does not have any room in his kit to build a BKB, right, fundamentally, unless he, like, gets rid of his boots or his Hurricane Pike. So Scythe is going to be very effective against Sniper, but Scythe is going to be very ineffective against the PA. Okay, oh, alright, we'll live. Oops, alright. Yeah, we could just kill this guy here, by the way. Okay, yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay. Alright, that was a good BKB usage by you. Unfortunately, you got bashed. But you'll win this anyway. Okay. Alright, you're winning this fight. Nice, dude. This clockwork is so good. I'm so proud. Okay. A 186. Let's see. Did he get the... Alright, now we're playing Dota 2 for real now. Okay, he's got the 40 dual damage bonus now. Coming up. Okay, so it's unfortunate you died there, but you did kill 3 people, so... Or your team killed 3 people, so that's good. Like, if this LC can jump and duel this Sniper with Blade Mail up, you guys will just win this game. Like, Sniper has buyback, of course, but you do that twice in a row, and the game gets really easy. Okay, they should leave now. You get buyback from PA, and then you leave. The classic play, right? You get buyback, and then you leave. Or rather, you force buybacks, then you leave. PA, she's going in for, I mean, I guess she's going for Butterfly. It's weird. I mean, Butterfly is great, damage and all that, but not on a hero where everybody builds MKBs anyway. Really, she should have an MKB. Eh, should she? I don't know. I mean, it's only Mirana that has the what's it called? Mirana should be building MKB, actually. That's the truth. Like, she's trying to scale into a physical damage hero, but she's not, because she's doing all this. And Zeus, did Zeus just build this Veil? If he had built Jesus. If he built Veil super early, that would have been quite good. But yeah, like instead of the Aether Lens, I think. And like, yeah, I'm not sure. Safe lane Zeus is so weird, man. And like, he doesn't have a blink. I don't know. I'm a bit... I'm not super into it. Okay, so let's see what you're doing. Don't forget, you have to factor in that you can sell this Midas. Oh, we sold our BKB. Was it... Oh, man, you're going to have to tell me, but I assume this is not a misclick. And you just made a really bad call. I want to be nice, but this BKB is so important against the Pugna, and Lincoln's is so not important against Pugna. Like, honestly, I would like Lincoln's BKB, if anything. Like, if you're really that scared of Abyssal Blade, I assume, yeah. Abyssal Blade, sure, whatever. Get rid of your, I mean, get a Lincoln's, but have both, dude. Like, don't have one or the other. If you really need both, you need both. And it's just you just have to accept your fate that you're in a miserable game where you need both. Yeah, I mean I assume we're gonna watch this game, of course, and we're gonna see you just die to Pugno a whole bunch, and then we're gonna say, boy, I wish you had that BKB still. Oh god. Alright, Zeus. Make the classic mistake of going for pickoffs at 65 minutes. Okay. We have Midas off cooldown. Midas something. Midas, Midas, Midas. Okay, blink, blink, blink. Okay, we didn't need to, but we could have. Okay. Alright, that was a really good tornado. Unfortunately, we're gonna die, and we don't have our BKB. Okay, alright, we should EEWRD. Okay, we just don't deal enough damage. Like, we're just getting got. We're gonna have to buy back. Okay, yeah, that's the right play. Ugh, almost got him. Oh, yeah. Honestly, you could also replace the Blink with, like, your BKB or your Lincolns. I mean, you just kind of have a bunch of items. Oh, God. Yeah, we're dead. Okay, good game. Okay, so this game's over. So basically, my core criticism, my core teaching moments, so to speak, for Invoker would be A, you use Tornado too much. Use Cold Snap more when you're going for pickoffs. B, when playing against Pugna, never sell your BKB. Don't sell your BKB. BKB is important. If you need to, like, get rid of your Blink or get rid of your Midas or whatever. If you want to have BKB and Lincolns, that's fine. You just need to accept that you're going to have these items. You probably needed to build more into physical damage this game, considering your team. Or you guys need to end early. If you pick that 30% XP talent, you guys need to be sieging and you need to be fighting early and taking advantage of the fact that you're going to hit 25 way before everybody else. See, I mean, that's about it. I'm sure I forgot something that I said earlier, but that was definitely the core issue. Is your team was heavily oriented into magic damage, and then they just got a couple of BKBs, and you just got screwed over and over again. It's always hard to play against a Pugna, to be fair. It just kind of, it's just kind of one of those things. It's like playing against Rupture. You don't want to not move, but you gotta not move, right? You don't want to play against a Pugna. But yeah, kill the wards earlier, get a BKB, keep the BKB, and that's about it. Thanks for support, and this was a fun game to watch, despite me being maybe a little overly mean because of my love of Invoker. But it was good though. Like fundamentally, I think your Invoker's fine, and I think you show promise, especially if you're only like 2K something. The Invoker takes time to learn, of course. It's gonna take a while, but I think you got it. It just it comes with time. Anyway, thanks for your support and goodbye.